Hey guys, all right, I've missed y'all. I've not been on here in forever. Just real quickly, I'm a photographer, and so spring is my crazy senior season, and so I've been trying to get caught up, and hopefully I am almost there. I've got another week and a half, and I think I will have all of my orders delivered in time for graduation. So anyway, sorry that I've not been around lately. I hope to do way better after I get caught up on everything. So thanks for hanging in there. Today, I just wanted to bring you guys a quick review of the new Butter Collection palette by Physicians Formula. This I've been looking for, oops, sorry. But anyway, I finally found this at our Walmart, and it is a limited edition. It's by Physicians Formula, which I think I told you guys that. Let me see if I can tilt this so that y'all can see it without my lights hitting it. But it is the super popular butter bronzer, which I've got, that is almost empty. I've hit pan on it a long time ago. And then I can't hold it open today. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that Walmart is the only place that's gonna carry this. And now that I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that I have my green screen behind me today, and this is the perfect, it's got little palm trees on here that are the perfect shade of green, and a little palm tree right here. Perfect shade of green to match my green screen, so that's probably gonna look really funky to you guys. But anyway, sorry, it is what it is. I don't have time to change it out today. So the box that I got was light medium. They do have another one that's a darker set. Let me back up here and tilt it. There we go. Okay, so you can see. It comes with a perfume. And it comes with the bronzer, which is the butter bronzer that's been around forever. It comes with a blush, which has also been around forever, the butter blushes. I believe they have reformulated these. These have been around, and they haven't been the greatest quality, but they have reformulated it. And then you get two highlighters, and they're both limited edition, or they have the little limited edition pink little tab on there to let you know that it's limited edition. Also, the perfume is limited edition. And this whole kit was $11.88. So you cannot beat that. If you're a fan of the butter bronzer, I believe it by itself is around that same price, and so are the blushes. These are a little smaller than the butter bronzer. The butter bronzer is a little larger than this, but you get all these other things with it. So I was really excited about this one. Let's see if I can figure out how to get in this. So it pops out, I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it pops out of your outer case. This is why my nails look so bad. So I'm not sure, the only protection that you have is this clear little plastic cellophane kind of thing. So I think if you put it back in its the original box that it came in, it does make a nice palette. Just like that. So now I'm taking my cellophane off. Let me see if you can see that a little better. Can you see it? It's in this really pretty holographic case, which is probably also not going to work with my green screen. I probably should change that out right now when I'm thinking about it. But anyway, we're going to just go for it and see what happens. Oh, it does smell like the original. It has a coconut, actually mine kind of has a plasticky scent, but I think it's because I just pulled the plastic off. So just be aware if it smells a little like plastic. I think it was because of the packaging. Let's smell the Butter Paradise. And it has a spritzy top. Let's see. Oh, that smells so good. It smells like vacation. It does have a coconutty, limey scent. It is not a perfume. It's the toilet. It's the diluted version, so it's not going to be super strong. It's not going to last forever, but it would be something fun to just throw in my camera bag and, you know, freshen up after I've sweated all day long, which is probably going to happen today. Okay, so I have not put any blush on, no highlighter, no bronzer, so I thought we would do this. Let's start with a little bronzer. And I'm just going to pick up, this shade is bronzer in bronzer is what it says. So I'm not really sure what that means. I'm just going to swirl a little of that and go right in here. I'm in a huge hurry today. All right, let me just add a little color here. It smells great. It really, really does. But not so overpowering that you're going to smell that throughout the day. It's just enjoyable when you're putting your makeup on. Okay, I'm just kind of knocking off the hard edges of that. And then now I'm going to pick up this peachy blush, which I think should be flattering on lots of different skin tones. It picks up a lot of blush. It's a little frostier than what I usually like. It is more shimmery, so if you are not a fan of shimmery blushes, then you may not like this so much. It does have a peachy glow to it. To be honest, I am not a massive fan of shimmery blushes. I usually like more of a matte finish just because, and I think I've said this before, you know, if you've played with highlighters, highlighters are notorious about it, but if you've played with highlighters, you know that any form of shimmer on your cheeks, on your skin, it's gonna show texture. Okay. So when you put a little bit of shimmer on your cheeks, if you've got any texture at all, even if you don't have texture, a lot of times a shimmer will make it appear like you do have texture. I'm not sure that that's showing up on screen as bad as it looks to me in my mirror, but I'm not a massive fan of the shimmery blushes. So I'm trying to just kind of dilute that, try to kick that off a little bit. I'm very careful with my highlighter. When I put that on, I just try to go really lightly with a light touch, and then I still blend that out just because I don't want all the texture showing up. So it is very powdery. Don't blow this off if you're doing somebody else's makeup, but if you're doing your own, blow it all you want to. Okay, so then the highlighter, there's one called Galactic, and it is super intense. So I'm thinking that I want to play with that on my eyes instead of as a highlighter. And then the one I'm going to use is in Full Moon. It's called Highlighter in Full Moon. And so that's the one I'm going to use in your typical highlighter spots. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit on a wider brush, kind of knock that off a little because, like I said, I don't want my highlighter. Oh, now that is a super intense highlighter. And I was just about to say, I don't want my highlighter super intense. And I'm going to flip my brush over and kind of knock that off a little bit. And I will still come back and knock that off even more. I'm not a massive, I'm okay with it being massive on the tip of my nose. See how I'm glowing like that? But not really on my cheek. I'm not a crazy fan of that. Picking up a little bit more, not much. I probably could have done both sides with what I had on my brush there. Ooh, gosh, that's a good highlighter. It's a really good highlighter. Okay, so I'm just gonna now come back and just knock that out a little bit. So maybe because I look at things coming from a photographer's perspective and I'm looking at, oh, I messed up my brows there. I look at things in terms of how this is gonna photograph. When you have a stripe of highlighter that is not subtly blended out, so that's why I always kind of come back and kick mine off a little bit. If it's not blended out and it's just that stripe, that shows up. It shows up on camera when you turn. I mean, it catches the light like it's supposed to, but when it's just a stripe, that is something that I don't really enjoy in terms of photographing. And I have done so many that have done their own makeup. Now my makeup artists, they don't do that. They subtly blend it in. Kelsey just asked me the other day, is there anything about the way that I'm doing the makeup that you want me to change, or any tips or suggestions that you have, just let me know. And I told her that no, she's doing great because she does blend that highlighter out. And that is important. See, I keep turning my head. I can see where it shimmers there and I like that, but I don't like the stripes. So that's why I try to use a very light hand and then go back and even blend it some more. But that is completely up to you. I've even watched my videos back where I put a little highlighter here and thought that it was blended out, and then when I see it on camera, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got a hunk right here that I stare at it the entire time. Okay, so that's the blush, that's the highlighter, that's the bronzer. It has this Galactic highlighter, which, to be honest, I'm probably not gonna use that too much on my face. So let's see what it does. Let's see if I can pick up a brush here. Let's see what it does. I'm trying out a new makeup kit, which I'll have a video on that really soon. And that palette kind of left a lot to be desired. So we're gonna see if we can't spice up my eye look with this Galactic shade. And let me show you. That picks up extremely pigmented and thick. So I'm kind of excited about how this is gonna go on my eyes. All right, so I'm just gonna pack this here. Oh, wow, yeah. Y'all, this highlighter did better on my eyes than the palette. Okay, so I'm real excited about that. That is cool. Okay, so if you're looking at this palette and you're like, okay, maybe I should get that, maybe I shouldn't. I'm not gonna use this highlighter because that looks a little crazy for my skin. Then use it as an eyeshadow. Actually, I think I may have already told you guys this, that if you are trying to blend out and you need a transition shade and you can't find one in the palette that you have, a lot of times you can get away with using a bronzer as a transition shade. So, you know, this is very handy for eyeshadow. This is gonna be one of my favorites. That's probably, oh, hair in my mouth. That is probably where it's gonna get its use from for me as a shadow. I think I really like the way that looks. I'm gonna hop back to the Full Moon highlighter. Just pick up that on the same brush. This time I'm picking that up on the tip of the brush, and I'm gonna use that right here in the corner of my eye. Now my palette did have a shade that you were supposed to do that with, but I'm not super happy with the way that it looks. I'm just kind of going over that tear duct, and it comes off as a more of a gold shade, which I love. I love gold. So anyway, all right, so there is our palette. Hopefully we'll be able to see that since we're doing it on a green screen. Totally may not work. Let me give you guys some swatches really fast. We're gonna start with the blush, and you even see it's a really subtle shade. There's the blush. And the highlighters, you'll notice when you run your finger in them, they feel very buttery. Does that help? Okay, so here's our blush, bronzer, the Full Moon highlighter, and then the Galactic highlighter. Can you see? You can definitely feel that these two highlighters, they have almost a wet feeling when you pick those up. I mean, they do. They feel wet on your hands. The bronzer feels more powdery. It doesn't really feel that way, and then neither does the blush. But there is something with these highlighters, I mean, that they look fulled. I mean, that's what I was gonna say whenever I pulled that up earlier, that they had a fulled look to them, but they definitely feel wet. And so if you've ever, hello, they definitely do feel wet. So, and that's, I like the way, I mean, I don't know, that's just a different formula. I like how that feels. And so those are definitely gonna be intense. Here's the one that I'm wearing today, and then here's the one that I have on my eyes. And I loved the way that effect, let's see. Let's put it right there on the corner with just my finger. Okay, all right, I'm about to clean this off. And so that's what I think of this butter collection. I really think this is a good value. If you, especially if you like the butter bronzer, you get the blush and the two highlighters for the same price. And you get this cute little perfume that smells great. It smells like vacation, which I feel like I need one right now. And that's it. That's the butter collection. So run out, get this. Try to find it at your Walmart. Mine was actually not over where the Physicians Formula things were on the aisle. It was on the end, let's see, like the end of, not even on an end cap. You know how an end cap you can kind of see that when you're walking down. This was just hanging right, like say this is the end cap. This is facing in our Walmart. This was facing the grocery department. And so the butter bronzer was just hanging in a little rack here on the corner. And my husband was with me whenever I was looking for this, and I told him, I said, okay, we're looking for something called the Butter Collection Palette. And so he's walking around looking, and I take off running. I said, oh, there it is. Take off going down this aisle and leave him over there with the groceries. And he said, how did you see that? I said, you know, you just have to have an eye for makeup. That's just the way it is. All right, so this is it, and y'all have a great afternoon and enjoy your last couple weeks of school. All right, bye guys.